Hey guys, it's coffee time. I'm finally home, and I had a great time, but I was really sad that my camera ended up just evaporating on the wind and being so upset with me. I kept trying to charge it, and every time I would unplug it, it would say that it had no battery, and then it would just die. And I was like, no, because I really wanted to take you guys on a trip with me. We could have had fun family times, and you could have seen me sleeping in the closet because that was just awesome, but it didn't work out. So, but now I'm home. Now I'm home and back to normalcies. So there's that. There's always that. But GDC was really fun. It was in San Francisco, which I've only been there once before. I had been there right along the pier line where Alcatraz and all of that is, and like Ghirardelli Square and all of that. But this time we were like right in the middle of San Francisco. And it was super cool. But I couldn't figure out until the very last day. The entire time that we were there, I was super tense. Like whenever we were outside, and I could not figure out what it was that was driving me nuts. There was something about it that was just like it had me on edge for some reason. So I was thinking about it, and I had mentioned it to my cohorts, and it had been brought up. Well, maybe it's just like because there are a lot of homeless people there, but there are a lot of homeless people in LA. So they were like, well, maybe you're just nervous about the homeless people. And I was like, I don't think so, because there's still homeless people in LA, like a lot of them. And I figured it out on the very last day. I figured out what it was that was upsetting me so badly. The sidewalks are huge. Like they could devour you. Because when I'm walking, I don't look straight ahead, but I don't also look like straight at the ground. I look like kind of on a weird like downward diagonal. So I get, mostly the area that I'm going to be walking into is what I'm looking at. And in San Francisco, if you're looking that way, basically your entire field of vision is sidewalk. And it felt so bizarre. So like when we would be walking, I'd be like, "Oh, there is too much of the same on all sides." And I don't know what it was. Like it made me feel smaller than I already am because the sidewalks were so huge. So it felt like I was this really strange, insecure child, like walking along the streets, like I had been shrunk. It was bizarre. It was such a bizarre feeling. So when we were walking around, I just always felt really like on edge and tense because I was like, I'm tiny. Somebody could attack me. Which I typically don't feel that way because I've lived in this body for so long. But feeling even smaller than I already am, it made me feel a little bit awkward. Like, I'm not sure what to do with myself. Because, everybody else is so much taller that they're not getting an entire sight of just brickwork when they walk. So that was my San Francisco experience. Very interesting, a lot of culture, a lot of people like playing instruments randomly and just all sorts of stuff like that. That was really cool. But their sidewalks, too big, San Francisco. You need to tone it down. Except that there are so many people there that like there were times when we would be walking around where I was like, okay, this is why your sidewalks are so big, because there's so many people. But I still would be an advocate for just taking it in just a little bit. But I don't live there, so they don't need to listen to me or care about my feelings on the subject. But that was my that was the most important piece of information from my San Francisco experience that I could impart to you. So, but other than that, we were in an area that it didn't have a whole lot of food places around. So like the very first night we spent, I think, like 45 minutes walking around going, where should we eat? And we ended up eating at a place. I can't remember the actual name of it. We just remembered the tagline because we said it a lot. But the tagline of the place was, the best pizza you're gonna get in San Francisco. And we were like, well, okay. It wasn't. But it had the potential. It had the potential to be the best pizza ever. Although, they only claimed that they were the best pizza in San Francisco. And to be fair, we never ate pizza again while we were there. So maybe it was true. Maybe that is the best pizza that San Francisco has to offer. I almost got a calzone while we were there, but I was like, I feel like this is defeating the purpose. It's kind of like walking into a donut shop that says the best coffee you're ever going to drink ever in life. And then you go, I think I'll just get a donut and a water. You got to try it out, right? Which I guess means that the marketing is working, you know, regardless of whether or not you actually believe that it's going to be true. You still have this weird desire to be like, but what if? What if somehow this just happens to be the best coffee slash pizza slash snails that I'm ever going to eat in my life? And I'm giving up that chance, that opportunity to later tell people, oh my gosh, you know that place that has the really kitschy sign? They're telling the truth. Go to them. Spread the word. I'm talking really fast today. I'm just so jacked to be back. Like, I had so much fun, but it was so depressing. I keep having so many issues with technology. It was so depressing getting there and being like, oh my gosh, I get to take all of my viewers on a road trip with me. And then it turned out that it wasn't even gonna work. Like, it was just really sad. But we had a lot of fun. So at least I wasn't having all of these difficulties and then had a terrible time. And it was just like, that was a waste. It was a huge waste of life. 'Cause it wasn't. It was a lot of fun. And I got a rad Octodad shirt. When you go to a convention, I'm probably going to mention this in my news show too, but just for fun. When you go to a convention, if you're there until the very, very end, for whatever reason, they still have like all of these shirts that are in the huge sizes that they can't seem to get rid of. And it's awesome because like if you have a sewing machine, you can resize those super, super easily. So like I kept going up to these booths and they'd be like, well, we're trying to get rid of stuff, but we don't have a shirt in your size whatsoever. We only have extra, extra large. And I'd be like, give it to me. So I got an Octodad shirt and I got a Spoon app shirt. Both are pretty rad looking, so I'm going to have to resize those, but it should be fun. Anywho, I guess, I mean, that's basic stories. Basic stories from San Fran. But I had a lot of fun, and I'm glad to be back. And we're gonna get back on our schedule, guys. So that'll be nice. Sorry about the hiatus. But you're all rad, and I'm really excited that it's the weekend. So hopefully you're excited that it's the weekend as well, and we can all have fun, happy, nonsense times together. Okay, bye-bye.